Good morning, Kansas, and welcome to Wednesday. Tracking once again another cold start this morning, but not as brutal as how we started the work week. Just got to make sure that we pack on that extra layer or two, and we'll actually be on our way to a warmer afternoon once we see those 50s return to the forecast. A few more clouds moving in today. Show you what other changes I'm tracking, all coming up in your Storm Track 3 forecast. Your news starts now.
Here for you in Wichita and across Kansas. This is Kansas Today.
Today is the day we finally learn the name of the new Wichita baseball team. Carly Willis has a report for you live from the stadium today.
And is there a rise in deadly crashes? Why is this happening? Well, we've got that answer from police coming up.
And taking a live look this morning, speaking of the baseball team, the stadium there really rocking on your Wednesday. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Gwen Bethel.
And I'm Brett Bagansky. The camera's shaking with excitement because it's anticipating the name of the baseball team, but it's also shaking in excitement because of what the forecast is going to be like for the rest of the week.
Yeah, what our winds are going to bring us, not that Arctic chill like how we started the week, but actually some warmer temperatures, finally being able to kind of thaw out across the area after the past couple of days. And we can actually see the change looking at our temperatures right now, at least region-wide. Even if I didn't have those numbers on there, you'd still be able to tell based upon the colors. But that Arctic chill really shifting eastward away from Kansas. Notice a lot of temperatures in the teens around Springfield, St. Louis, Chicago, all the way up into the Great Lakes region, while we're just sitting in the 20s right now. Yeah, it's still another cold start out there, but at least that coldest air in the country, not in Kansas anymore. So waking up 20s to 30s right now. Colby, Goodland, right around freezing. Temperatures still dropping for you. And winds right now, mainly out of the south for a lot of us, gradually making that switch back out of the north, already doing so in northwestern Kansas as a weak cold front moves through today. We're not going to feel the effects of it until tomorrow, though. Wind chills right now still bitter in spots. It feels like it's 6 degrees right now in Emporia, feels like 14 in Great Bend, and it feels like 13 degrees in Hayes. So even our WSU campus sky view camera still a bit shaky out there due to those winds. It is going to be a windy day, but I don't expect us to experience the same winds that we saw earlier this week. 26 degrees right now in Wichita, though. Bus stop forecast, the kiddos, they'll need to hold on to those hats and hold on to any kind of loose papers that they have later on today after that last bell rings. But at least they'll be able to maybe shed a layer or two once we see those 50s return. I'll let you know when we warm up even more coming up in your Storm Track 3 forecast in just about 15 minutes. Guys?
Ronell, we're looking forward to that. We'll see you in 15 minutes. All right, 6:03. It's a long way today right here on the Wichita sports scene.
And today is the day we will finally find out the name for Wichita's new minor league baseball team. KSN's Carly Willis joins us live from the stadium with details on that. Good morning, Carly.
Good morning, Brett. Gwen, they've been just teasing us and toying with our emotions for months now, dropping little logos and hints here and there, like the Wichita Doodahs or the Wichita Linemen. But those were all not real. We will find out the real deal about 12 hours from now in a special ceremony. Now, the vice president tells me the name was selected specially to fit a narrative of Wichita's past and where it's going. I'm told it has a professional look and feel as the state's only professionally affiliated baseball team. Vice President Bob Moulette told me also they've been secretly building a merchandise store in the stadium, which will open up tomorrow to sell gear with the team's new name on it. Inside the stadium, sod is laid down and they're pouring concrete for the general concourse and placing insulation and glass in the clubhouse. Construction is right on pace.
We hope that whatever happens there brings more people down here and gives us exposure to get more people to come down here and shop.
You can tune into Wichita Baseball's Facebook page for a Facebook Live beginning at 5:30 p.m. We'll also have news and reaction about the new team name tonight on KSN News. For now, live at the stadium, Carly Willis, KSN News 3.
All about what's in a name, Carly. Thank you for that. The time is now 6:05. 28 deadly crashes. That's how many Wichita police said happened last year. And Monday's deadly crash was number 25. That is the same number as this time last year. Well, police say some of those causes include speeding and running stoplights. And some driving instructors are seeing more people take defensive driving courses. The big message, heighten your awareness and eliminate distractions.
You can control how you react to other people. You can control yourself and your car, but you can't control the other drivers out there.
Police say they are focusing on the Kellogg area for traffic enforcement, and they say that is because they see a high number of injury crashes.
Well, this morning a man is recovering after being hit by a city bus in East Wichita. A police sergeant says the man was running across the road near Central and Woodlawn just before 6 o'clock last night. They say that's when the driver could not stop because of how traffic was backed up. The man does have critical but non-life-threatening injuries.
6:06, it's a deadly crash that killed a woman, and we now have new information. Sierra Frost is the passenger who died in the first car. Well, that crash happened Monday night near 53rd in Meridian. Police say an SUV ran a stop sign, hit another car and a power pole before rolling. That crash is still under investigation.
Oh, this morning, police are investigating a crash that left a man in critical condition and a mother and child seriously hurt. It happened yesterday morning on McLean Avenue. Police say one of the vehicles crossed that center line and hit the oncoming vehicle. The mother and child were trapped in that SUV and had to be cut out. This crash is under investigation.
Fair warning for all you drivers out there today. More importantly, watch out for deer. Yeah, Trooper Ben Gardner says statistically, November 13th, meaning today, is the day you are most likely to hit a deer. He says on average, law enforcement will investigate 85 crashes involving deer. It's why you have to stay defensive behind the wheel.
A New Jersey family is finally getting answers after their son died at Garden City Community College. Braden Bradforth died from a heat stroke in August 2018 on the first day of football conditioning. The college hired an independent agency to conduct an investigation into his death, and the Board of Trustees reviewed that final report. They will let Bradford's family see it soon. Since his death, the college has implemented many changes, including modifying practice times due to the temperatures. KSN is filing a Kansas Open Records Act request to get a copy of the report.
An Ark City teenager is recovering from a gunshot wound. Police say somebody shot the 17-year-old boy at a home Saturday night. Crews flew him to a Wichita hospital, and the chief of police says they haven't arrested anyone, but the shooting is still under investigation.
Well, the city of Newton could join a national lawsuit against opioid companies. More than 24 cities and counties in Kansas have joined in on this fight against prescription pill manufacturers, distributors, and pharmacies.
Well, at 6:08, making vaping illegal on all school property. That's what the state school board wants to do, and it comes as our state is seeing a nearly 300% increase with high schoolers vaping. The board will make a decision on their proposal next month.
And the grand opening of a newly formed entrepreneurial hub here in Wichita is taking place today. Founders Grove, formerly the Commerce Bank at 21st and Grove, was renovated to contain small and large conference rooms. There's also office spaces that will be shared by several organizations. Organizers say this is a collaboration to empower urban entrepreneurs while empowering the community around them.
The idea of investing in this particular part of town matters just as much as all the investments that we read about and celebrate in downtown Wichita. We are a vibrant community, and this is just another indication that there's so much more that's in store for us.
That grand opening is set at 10 this morning, and everyone is invited.
6:09, be prepared to travel for the holidays. TSA and Eisenhower Airport want you to know a few things before you hit the road. They expect the Wednesday before Thanksgiving to and from Wichita and the Sunday after as the busiest travel days. The busiest times include, you may want to write this down, 4 to 6 a.m., 9 a.m. to noon, and 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. They say you got to expect all flights to be absolutely full.
Yeah, one thing you want to pack while traveling during the holidays, your patience.
Yes.
Pack that patience.
It happens. You got to do it.
Yes, well, the impeachment inquiry is going public today.
We're going to show you why people on both sides say it is critical in the process.
Temperatures finally heading in the right direction after a cold couple of days. Your forecast in just a few minutes.
You're watching Kansas Today with Brett Bogansky, Gwen Bevel, and weather with meteorologist Ronell Williams.
I woke up back at 6:12. It's National Kindness Day, and you're going to be kind to everyone with this weather forecast, right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Got some warmer temperatures on the way. I wish I had a VHS tape to rewind, because then I could be kind by rewinding.
Oh.
That was the first thing that kind of popped into my head when you said that.
You have to be from our generation or older to even understand that. These
Nostalgia.
kids today don't know the struggles of rewinding the VHS.
They even had, besides your actual VCR, which rewound the tape, they actually had the speed rewinder that you could buy.
Yeah, we had one. That way your VCR wasn't going through all those paces so often.
My mom had one of those. I think she still might have it.
You're
honestly.
welcome for the throwback this morning.
Yeah. Thank you so much. But we're going off on different tangents once again, talking about different things other than the weather, which is what we need to be talking about right now. So let's go ahead and get into that forecast. Another cold start this morning, not nearly as brutal as how we started the work week, though. Yeah, a lot of us in the freezer this morning, a lot of us below freezing in the 20s, with the exception of Colby up towards McCook. Goodland, you're in the 30s right now, but really still cold when it comes to how it actually feels out there. Not too much of a difference. Now, when it comes to the bitterness of how it feels out there, winds have picked up a little bit more, actually bringing our wind chills all the way down into the lower teens. It feels like the single digits in Emporia, out towards Independence in southeastern Kansas. So we'll still kind of have that bite to the air this morning just because of those winds, the fact that a lot of our temperatures are below freezing, but we do have a warmer afternoon on the way. Just got to make sure that we grab that extra layer or two. 28 degrees right now in Dodge City, and skies in pretty good shape. A lot of us should be able to get a nice sunrise, kind of like what's going on right now in Great Bend. Still going to take another hour or so for the sun to come up over that horizon, but things looking like you're in pretty good shape, at least for now. 25 degrees, though, with a south wind at 11 miles an hour. Through at least the first part of our day, those winds, gusty at times, they're still going to be out of the south, which will help us warm back up into the 50s across just about the entire area. A couple of lucky cities or towns in southwestern Kansas should be able to sneak up into the lower 60s. Now, when it comes to our sky conditions, we are going to be partly cloudy, turning mostly cloudy at times the farther north you are, just because there's a disturbance that I'm keeping an eye on. Shouldn't give us too much trouble today, but we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Low temperatures later on tonight, eventually back down into the 20s to low 30s, so getting put back into the freezer once again to start our Thursday. And then once a cold front comes through later on today, it is going to knock us down a little bit, back down into the 40s by the time we get into our Thursday. Able to rebound here pretty quickly, though, by Friday, keeping that trend of 50s into the weekend, and then 60s by this time next week. Storm Tracker satellite radar, there's that cold front up to the north. As expected, the majority of that precipitation in the form of snow, a wintry mix, some rain showers, really remaining well up to our north, but right along that Kansas-Nebraska line, either way, north of I-70, that's where I can't rule out random sprinkle or an isolated flurry as we kind of go through our Wednesday. But other than that, a lot of us staying dry, just seeing those clouds push in along that cold front as we go through the day, and then those skies, they will clear back out by tonight, allowing sunshine to return, at least full-on sunshine for your Thursday and also Friday too. Once we get into the weekend, it won't only be mild in the 50s and more comfortable than how we started the week, but also seeing our next better chance of rain, at least slightly better, off to the west by late Saturday and Saturday night. And we may see that rain chance try to slide into some of our central Kansas counties. You can see that increase in clouds by the time we get into the end of the weekend, but so far still looking like only a 10% chance for Wichita. So that's still something that we do need on this 7-day forecast, is a little bit more moisture. But checking out our temperatures, at least we're not seeing those dramatic dips in our highs. So 50s today, 40s tomorrow for central Kansas, and then north central Kansas actually getting close to 60 once we get into Friday. 60s looking more likely by early next week. Staying pretty dry until Saturday for southwestern Kansas, and even then it's only a 10% chance, going up to 20% by Saturday night, then back down to 10% by Sunday. Temperatures going through some, let's say, slight moderations between the 50s and 60s. But check out next Tuesday. Even in northwestern Kansas, getting close to 70 degrees. So we've still got those wild temperature swings in the forecast. Still got to make sure that we stay buckled up. because still going to be a bit bumpy out there when it comes to those up and down temperatures.
Hey, you told us just to practice our patience on this one as well, right? Because that warm up has returned.
That's right.
And really nice there, almost 70.
Yeah, and even our cooler days, at least we won't be well below freezing and even in the negatives.
Yeah, brutally cold. All right, Ronell, thanks so much. Well, still to come your way, police believe they have found the remains of a missing Florida girl.
So we're going to show you why the child's mother is now facing charges.
Time now, 6:17. That's all coming up in just a few minutes.
.620 after months of accusations, political attacks, and questioning behind closed doors today, the nation will get a first-hand look at the impeachment process.
And Jay Gray shows us what you can expect.
In just hours, the impeachment investigation goes public.
I think it's very important to begin to tell the story to tens of millions of Americans who have not yet heard from the witnesses themselves.
The first two witnesses are Bill Taylor, America's top diplomat in Ukraine, and George Kent, a senior State Department official in charge of policy involving Ukraine. President Trump continues to label the process a hoax and witch hunt.
Going absolutely nowhere. Don't worry about it.
I'm late already.
Overnight, Democrats and Republicans huddled behind closed doors, working through last-minute strategies, questions, and talking points. GOP leaders challenging the process.
They don't have the right to stop us from speaking, even though they changed the rules to deny us the right, even though they changed the rules to deny us the right to have witnesses.
Democrats confident in what the public hearings will reveal.
There's more evidence to prove that the president attempted to bribe or extort Ukraine than there is evidence to support the idea that the sun will come up in the east tomorrow. Period.
As the sun comes up this morning over Capitol Hill, the impeachment inquiry enters a new, and both sides agree, critical stage. Jay Gray, NBC News, Washington.
KSN will cover the impeachment hearings this morning. We will also be streaming those for you live over on KSN.com.
And while that is happening, Turkish President Erdogan is coming to the White House today. His visit comes about a month after President Trump withdrew U.S. troops from northern Syria. Turkish forces moved into the area, and President Trump lifted the sanctions once many of the sides in the conflict reached a ceasefire deal.
Well, police believe human remains found could be those of a missing 5-year-old Florida girl. Taylor Rose Williams was reported missing from Jacksonville last week. Her remains were found in a wooded area in Alabama's Marengo County. Officials announced that 27-year-old Brianna Williams, the child's mother, was arrested and charged with child neglect and giving false information to investigators.
It's about 6:23. Former President Jimmy Carter is recovering after brain surgery. The 95-year-old went under the knife to relieve pressure from bleeding caused by some recent falls. The Carter Center says there were no complications, and the former president will remain in the hospital for observation.
Well, one North Dakota politician quite literally stands above the rest. State Insurance Commissioner John Gottfried now holds the Guinness World Record as the tallest male politician, standing just over 6'10". He had to be measured 3 times before he could be named the official record holder. He takes the honor from a New York councilman. It's no surprise both men were former basketball players.
What's interesting, though, is that Illinois' treasurer, former state senator Mike Farris, he's about 6'8", and then the new Knox County mayor, Glenn Jacobs, better known as Kane in WWE, they had him listed at 7 feet. So was WWE not telling the truth about his height, or is he really not?
I don't know, but yeah, you could tell when he was just standing there next to people like us. He just towers over them, 6'10". Where does the guy buy pants?
Some tall guys.
Yikes.
All right, soon you're going to be able to buy gear for Wichita's new baseball team.
Exciting stuff today, but first we're going to tell you all about when you'll learn more about what they'll be called. Carly Willis has a preview of the big name reveal. Your time now, 6:24. Hutchinson is throwing up a beautiful sunrise on your Wednesday. Stay with us.
Getting you out the door with that Wednesday forecast.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and sum things up for everybody out there. Going to need the coats this morning, maybe being able to shed one of those layers, maybe a couple of those layers by the time we get into the afternoon, just because it's going to be a warmer afternoon ahead, going from 20s to 50s, a few more clouds in the sky, turning our skies partly sunny, but otherwise it does look like things are going to be much more comfortable compared to the past couple of days, with the exception of some gusty winds out there.
All right. Hold on to the hat, but other than that, we're making improvements around here.
Making strides.
Yes, thank you.
You know, we need a little bit of that precept, but you remember all that flooding that we had over the spring? Well, some Kansas lawmakers say more needs to be done about that. We're going to show you what they had to say.
And what changes could we see near the new baseball stadium, and what city leaders are looking at there as construction continues.
All right, make sure you stay right where you are. A lot more Kansas Today coming up in just a few minutes. Time now, 6:28. We'll be right back.
Your forecast first with KSN Storm Track 3, sponsored by Don Hatton Ford.
Good morning, Kansas. Starting off our Wednesday, once again, on a cold note, but not nearly as brutal as how we started the work week. So once we dig ourselves out of the freezer, we've got a warmer afternoon ahead. Skies won't be as blue. Winds are going to be a bit stronger, and I am tracking a few more changes coming up in your Storm Track 3 forecast. Your news starts now.
Here for you in Wichita and across Kansas. This is Kansas Today.
6:31, they are announcing the name of a new baseball team. Carly Will shows you what else the team has been keeping a secret.
And Douglas down to 2 lanes. Changes could be coming to that area, and why city leaders say that's not a done deal just yet.
And you are taking a live look at our Skyview camera. What you're seeing right now is the new home of what will be the new Wichita baseball team. Of course, they are announcing the name today, the logo, all of that coming up tonight, and you can see it right here on KSN. Good morning. Happy Wednesday to you all. I'm Brett Bagansky.
And I'm Gwen Bevel. We're so glad you're up super early with us, and a day that is bringing warmer temperatures. Ronell told us that we just kind of had to get past that really cold snap before we saw some improvement, and here we are.
Yeah, you know what? If you want to think positive thoughts, because I know it's still cold out there, still going to be a little bit rough for some of us to get that day started. Technically, we're a lot warmer than yesterday. We had multiple record low temperatures, not just here in Wichita, Garden City, Medicine Lodge, Dodge City, all breaking record lows yesterday. We're not breaking any records this morning, but it's still pretty cold out there. Now, when it comes to that Arctic chill shifting eastward, notice temperatures in the teens, Springfield, St. Louis, up towards Chicago, all well to the east of Kansas. So as that Arctic chill continues to shift away from us, that's what's going to allow some technically warmer air to make its way back into Kansas. So temperatures right now waking up into the 20s to 30s. A lot of us sitting below freezing, and our winds a bit gusty at times, mainly out of the south, but they'll eventually make the switch out of the north. That's what's trying to happen in northwestern Kansas right now. That means we're going to have another cold front roll through. It's not going to be a strong one, and things should stay pretty dry out there, but we've still got to deal with these bitter wind chills this morning. Feels like 6 degrees right now in Emporia, but at least we're not dealing with those widespread single-digit wind chills. And take a look outside right now. Even though we're dealing with a few more clouds out there, just before that cold front moves in, actually a beautiful sunrise across the board. 24 degrees right now in Hays. Coming up in your Storm Track 3 forecast, taking a look at those highs in the 50s, maybe even 60s in about 15 minutes. Guys?
We are looking forward to that news. Ronell, thank you. 6:34, and by the end of the day, Wichita's baseball team will finally have a name.
The organization has been toying with our minds for months now, releasing multiple logos that could a possible selection on one of these. But today we will know what is really happening. And KSN's Carly Willis joins us live now from the baseball stadium.
Yeah, Brett, it's all starting to feel very real. There's construction workers at the stoplight that are headed into work here at the stadium, and by the end of today, we will have the actual team name of the Wichita baseball team. Now, for months, they've dropped possible logos designed by Miss Kansas, but this one tonight will be the official team name, logo, and uniform designed by sports graphic designer Todd Radom. Heavy hitters from the organization, including players within the Marlins system and team management, will be on hand for the announcement later today. Well, they would not divulge the team name to us. They did say it will have a professional look and feel, and it will fit Wichita's past and its future. The stadium coming along too, with concrete being poured for the concourse and glass going up in the clubhouse. And they've been secretly building a merchandise store in the stadium, which will open tomorrow, so you can get your team name gear.
I'm excited about it. I can't wait. I'm just anxious to hear what they've come up with.
It's all going down tonight at 5:30. You can tune in on the Wichita Baseball Facebook page. They'll be doing a Facebook Live, so you'll be one of the first to know at that point. But then we'll also have coverage of the team name and reaction tonight on KSN News. For now, live at the stadium, Carly Willis, KSN News 3.
All right, thanks so much, Carly. Now, changes could be coming to the area surrounding the new stadium. The city wants to remove properties seen here on your screen right now with the diagonal lines through them from the East Bank Tax Increment Financing District, or TIF, and put them in the West Bank District. They say this will let them fund improvements related to the stadium using West Bank TIF funds. Council members set a public hearing for these changes on December 17th.
6:36, narrowing Douglas to 2 lanes. It's one step closer to becoming a reality. The city of Wichita accepted a grant for 1/3 of the project. But the idea for scooter and bike lanes is not a done deal. Council members say they can return the Knight Foundation grant if they don't go through with the pilot project. And some feel there needs to be more input from the public.
A lot of the bicyclists and a lot of the pedestrians think it's a great idea. A lot of the people that use Douglas for the thoroughway to the city are definitely concerned about it narrowing down to 2 lanes.
And city staff says they've studied the concept for a long time, and they said they'll get more public feedback before they make a recommendation to council.
Well, in news out of our Capitol Bureau now, lawmakers are looking at ways to help Kansans during natural disasters. One senator is concerned residents do not know who to contact or where to go during a flood. He hopes working with state and federal agencies will change that.
It's a matter of determining if there is anything we can do. We can't legislate Mother Nature, but what we can do is be better prepared for the extremes.
Senator Longbine also says he is worried about how long recent flooding has lasted. The Special Committee on Natural Resources is trying to find a fix for that to keep that water flowing through the state.
6:37, it could be several months before we know the fate of hundreds of thousands of young immigrants. Yesterday, the Supreme Court heard arguments for and against DACA. The program protects those who were brought to the country illegally as children.
Many of them were brought here as children. They're now young adults. They've never actually known the countries that they're from. They may not even speak the language.
If the Supreme Court overturns DACA, 6,000 Kansans could get deported. And Jackson, who you heard there, says it could cost our state nearly $2 billion because immigrants would be more reluctant to work in the documented labor market.
Well, the mother of the man killed in a 2017 swatting incident in Wichita spoke to Wichita City councilors. She told members about the frustration she and her family feel when it comes to the $25 million lawsuit. Nearly $250,000 has already been spent by the city of Wichita fighting the suit, money that Lisa Finch says could have been better spent.
The amount of money they are spending could be much better used by training for WPD, by helping the programs that would be beneficial, starting with the homeless.
A family spokesperson told KSN that the family believes the city should settle this case quickly.
6:39, KSN is your local election headquarters. More people want to be the next senator for Kansas. Steve Roberts is the latest candidate. He currently sits on the Kansas Board of Education. Roberts filed his paperwork Tuesday to make it on the ballot for the August primary, and he joins a crowded Republican field that includes former Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach, Congressman Roger Marshall, Susan Wagle, and David Lindstrom. This usually doesn't happen to officers during a search, but when a lizard jumps out, all bets are off.
Yes, and the message one contestant left for Alex Trebek that got the game show host all choked up. All of that is coming your way in Morning Media.
And temperatures over the coming days across Kansas going to be headed finally in the right direction. Your latest forecast in just a few minutes.
Welcome back. 6:42. A police officer got quite the scare when a lizard leaped from a man's coat during a search.
Yeah, body camera video from the Chico Police Department in California shows an officer as she jumps away, screaming as the tiny reptile gets near her. The officer just laughed it off, asking if there were any other creepy critters in there. The man being searched apologized and says he forgot about it. Yeah, right. But the man also didn't get to keep the lizard, and you can hear a second officer in the video saying, unfortunately, he ran off. So we won't be able to pat the lizard down either to see if maybe he had a smaller lizard in his pocket.
Well, at least she had a partner with her. Could you imagine if she were alone and had that happened and the guy tried to make a run for it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There you go. And I do know that you've got to go to Facebook and watch this video because you can hear her say, do you have any drugs or anything like that on you? And about that time, the lizard just leaps right out of the jacket. So the timing on it was crazy.
Does a lizard count?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Alex Trebek is battling, of course, stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He was really taken back when a contestant expressed his support during the final round of Jeopardy!
You're smiling. I like that. Let's take a look at your response. Did you come up with the right one? No? What is we love you out? That's very kind of you. Thank you. Cost you $19.95. You're left with $5. Okay. Let's go to work.
You can see it was a really emotional moment for Trebek. The contestant, who was left with $5 after the round, also wore a purple ribbon to promote awareness and research of pancreatic cancer, and you could see why that moment has gone viral.
Yeah, you can just hear it in his voice.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were very scared when the diagnosis first came out. He continues to work, though, continuing to crank episode and episode after Jeopardy!
Yeah,
it really shows the impact the show, but more importantly, Alex Trebek has had on many people's lives.
That's right.
That being said, you can get a great look at our morning media articles through a link on our KSN Facebook fan page. We always welcome your comments and your suggestions. Look at that time, 6:44. Let's take a look at this morning's shot of the day.
Yes, a fabulous shot. This gorgeous shot of the day came our way from Drew. Thanks so much, Drew. Stephen, thanks so much for sending this in. You can see some waterfowl there out on the lake, it looks like. And it's extremely difficult to make out what else is going on there because of all of that thick, dense fog.
So this is all you have to do right now is click the Connect 3 Now tab on KSN.com and we'll get your pictures right on there. Who's going to win the morning mug today? We're going to have that answer in just a little bit.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time to give away another Kansas Today mug. And today's winner, it's Anita Gordy. Congratulations to Anita. Now, if you want to win one just like Anita just did, all you have to do is head over to the contest page of KSN.com to find out how to enter. Once you get your name entered in there, hopefully you'll be the next winner of one of those Kansas Today mugs. It's already Wednesday, so that means we've got 2 more winners to go as we go through the rest of this week. Into our forecast now, still talking about cold temperatures, not nearly as brutal as how we started the work week though, but a lot of us will have to kind of dig ourselves back out of the freezer. Notice the majority of our temperatures waking up below freezing this morning, in the 20s to even 30s, 33 to 32 degrees for Colby and Goodland. Wind chills still a bit bitter for some of us out there. Feels like 6 degrees in Emporia, feels like 11 in Pratt, feels like 12 degrees in Garden City. But hey, we can only go up from here, right? And that's exactly what's going to happen. Dodge City Skyview camera really across the board, across the area. All of our Skyview camera showing a beautiful sunrise out there. We do have a few more clouds out there with a disturbance just up to our north, but otherwise it does look like most of us should stay dry. 28 degrees though in Dodge City, and there's another look at that beautiful sunrise right now in Great Bend. If you have a few extra moments and you're about to step out the door and you happen to look up, go ahead and snap a picture and share it with us, because we want to see that sunrise where you are as well. 25 right now in Great Bend. Notice those south winds at 11 miles an hour. Those south winds are what's really kept us from falling any lower than the 20s this morning. Yeah, it's still cold, but not as bitter as when we actually broke a bunch of record lows this time yesterday morning. So highs today getting even warmer. Widespread 50s on the way, maybe even sneaking into the lower 60s for a couple of communities down into extreme southwestern Kansas, right along that Oklahoma panhandle. And even though we've got 50s on the way, we are going to cool right back down below freezing once again later on tonight into the 20s to low 30s. Weak cold front comes through today. We're not going to feel the effects of it until tomorrow though, going from 53 down to 47 for our Thursday. So not really seeing a dramatic drop in our temperatures, but it is going to be a little bit cooler for our Friday Eve. Back up into the 50s by Friday, and then eventually seeing 60s by early next week, even getting close to 70 by Tuesday. Still seeing those wild temperature swings, but at least we're going up instead of down. Storm Tracker satellite radar, there's that cold front, and as expected, the majority of the precipitation in the region up to our north, Nebraska, the Dakotas, Iowa, and up towards Minnesota, dealing with rain showers, snow showers, and everything in between, a wintry mix too. We might get a random flurry or a random sprinkle right along that Kansas-Nebraska line, possibly impacting some of our northernmost communities, but still expecting most of us to stay dry out there. Now, as we go through the second part of our Wednesday, there's that switch of our winds back out of the north as that weak cold front rolls through, bringing a few more clouds our way, but then those skies kind of clearing right back out by the time we get into the overnight and through our Thursday. So therefore, we should be able to see skies that are a little bit more on the blue side by the time we get into Thursday and Friday too as we get our weekend started. Into Saturday and Sunday, this is what's going to bring us a slight chance of rain. Weak disturbance rolling through. First off in western Kansas, mainly Saturday evening and Saturday night. That's where we'll have a slight chance of rain, and then by the time we get into Sunday, another slim chance for some of our centralmost counties, Sedgwick County included, so therefore Wichita, only a 10% chance so far. We really do still need that moisture out there. It does look like the next 7 days are going to be pretty dry, and when it comes to our temperatures, 50s to 60s, so still not seeing those drastic drop in temperatures, kind of like what we were experiencing early this week. When it comes to north central Kansas, only a 10% chance of a random sprinkle, possibly a very light flurry, but otherwise it does look like you'll just be dealing with an increase in clouds today. A little bit cooler tomorrow, and then 50s to 60s for the rest of the week. Southwestern Kansas, 50s today, 60s by Friday, and then 70 degrees by next Tuesday. Warming up quite a bit. Northwestern Kansas getting close to 70 by next Tuesday as well. But unfortunately, it is going to be pretty dry over the next 7 days. Time now, 6:52. We'll be right back.
6:54, and we are running through all the major stories this morning to keep you in the know. Believe it or not, by the end of the day, Wichita's baseball team will finally have a new name.
The organization has been toying with our minds now for months, releasing several logos. Tonight, though, we'll know the real deal. Carly Willis joins us live from the stadium once again.
Good morning. It's been such a roller coaster having possible names released here and there, like the Doodahs, or what was the other one? The B-29s, things like that. But today we will have the name for sure by about 12 hours from now. Heavy hitters from the Marlins organization and team management, as well as Todd Radom, the graphic designer of the new team name, logo, and uniform, will be on hand for the announcement later today. While they would not tell us what the team name was, they did say it will honor Wichita's past and its future. And as you can see behind me there, the stadium is coming along too, with concrete being poured in the concourse and glass going up in the clubhouse. And they've also put a secretly building a merchandise store inside the stadium so that when the name is public tonight, you can pick up team gear with the name and the logo starting tomorrow. Now tune into the Wichita Baseball Facebook page for a Facebook Live beginning at 5:30. They should make that announcement shortly after 6 p.m. after some hype and excitement. And then stay tuned to KSN News tonight as we'll have reaction from that team name announcement. For now, live downtown, Carly Willis, KSN News 3.
All right, Carly, very exciting night for all of you baseball enthusiasts. Well, changes could soon be coming to that area surrounding the new stadium as well. The city wants to remove properties seen here with the diagonal lines through them from the East Bank Tax Increment Financing District and put them over in the West Bank District. They say this will let them fund improvements related to that new stadium using West Bank TIF funds. Council members set a public hearing for this matter for December 17th.
Narrowing Douglas to 2 lanes, it's one step closer to becoming a reality. The City of Wichita accepted a grant for 1/3 of the project. But the idea for scooter and bike lanes is not a done deal. Council members say they can return the Knight Foundation grant if they don't go through with the pilot project. And some feel that there needs to be more input from the public. 28 deadly crashes. That's how many Wichita police said happened last year. And Monday's deadly crash was number 25. That's the same number as this time last year. Now, police say some of those causes include speeding, running stoplights, and some driving instructors are seeing more people take defensive driving courses. The big message: heighten your awareness and eliminate distractions.
The mother of the man killed in a 2017 swatting incident in Wichita spoke to counselors. She told members about the frustration she and her family feel when it comes to the $25 million lawsuit. Nearly $250,000 has already been spent by the city of Wichita fighting that suit. Money Lisa Finch says could have been better spent.
Fair warning for all you drivers out there today. More importantly, watch out for deer. Trooper Ben Gardner says statistically, November 13th, meaning today, is the day you will most likely hit a deer. He says on average, law enforcement will investigate 85 crashes involving deer, and it's why you have to stay defensive behind the wheel.
Well, the grand opening of a newly formed entrepreneurial hub in Wichita is taking place today at 10. It's over at 21st and Grove. Founders Grove, formerly the Commerce Bank, was renovated to contain small and large conference room and some shared office spaces. It will provide that for several organizations, and organizers say this is a collaboration to not only empower urban entrepreneurs, they also want to empower the community around them.
Seeing that beautiful sunrise behind Carly just now, this is the time to really get out the door with that forecast.
Yeah, got to make sure that we bundle up the extra layer or two. Still needing that this morning, but not nearly as brutal as earlier this week. 24 degrees. Actually feels more like the lower teens out there because our winds have kind of picked back up. But either way, we'll be on our way to a warmer day out there. Got 50s on the way, partly cloudy skies. And yeah, if you happen to walk outside and you got a little bit of extra time on your hands, go ahead and snap a picture of that sunrise and share it with us.
That's right. You can send it to Connect 3 now, and we'll use it as shot of the day right here on Kansas Today. That's all of our time.
Yeah, and the news never stops right here. We got the Today Show coming up next. Big day. They are talking about the impeachment hearings, and you can see it right here live on KSN.
And KSN.com as well. We'll be live streaming. Have a great Wednesday.